We've had a few weeks to settle into this lobster and Frankenstein infested meta in Brawl Stars. So today I'm going to be sharing who the best brawlers are at every single rarity so you all can make the best decision for who to unlock, push, or upgrade next. First up, we've got the rare brawlers. My selection for this is going to be Barley, who at competitive gameplay and professional gameplay has gotten a ton of love and a lot of success recently. I would power up Barley all the way to 11, get that hypercharge if you can. He's actually a very sneaky pick on a lot of Brawl Ball maps right now. In ranked, he's going to be flying under the radar as somebody that's not going to get banned, and as a result, you're going to get him as a top choice later on in the draft. A lot of the times, you can get a 6th pick for throwers that's going to be very sneaky, and Barley is in the likes of something like a Barry or Larry and Lori for his particular maps right now. I really do think he's that good. Honorable shout out to Nita as well. She's going to do very well into the tankier meta, so if you see a bunch of Franks and Lilies running around, Nita's going to be a great way to stop that. Next up, we've got these super rare brawlers, and I am going with Rico for this one. Another brawler that more recently got a hypercharge, and he has certainly benefited from it. I think Rico's a brawler that might be flying under the radar just a little bit, especially in ranked gameplay. I don't feel like I see him enough. Think maps like Brawl Ball, where center stage comes into play, penalty kick, all those walls you can bounce off for free, and Rico's not somebody you're going to see banned too often, so as a result, you're going to be able to get him as a 6th pick a lot of the times, or a later one. He's fantastic for lanes on maps like Undermine, Hard Rock Mine. There's several maps on Ladder where he's going to do well, and I think Rico's somebody that just has a ton of carry potential. He's a high damage dealing brawler with great range, great stats overall, and now has a hypercharge. If you're somebody that's trying to carry your randoms in ranked and ladder, this is a guy that's going to get the job done for you. Honorable mention for somebody like Jesse too. It's another really accessible brawler with a solid hypercharge. Newer players really struggle into the turret, especially when it has hypercharge with 9,900 HP, but I do think Rico is just a little bit of a step ahead of her. Next up, we've got the epic category, and there are several great selections here. Some of the best brawlers in the entire game are resting at the top of epic. Depending on where you want to play these brawlers and what you're looking for in terms of playstyle, I'm going to bring up 2 really great options that are probably top 5 brawlers in the game. First up, if you're just looking to pub stomp, you're ready to go onto the ladder and just dominate across the board and do some random matchups, Frank's probably that guy for you. The fact that he is rewarded for getting hit makes him faster and faster attack speeds. He's heavy hitting, has a ton of HP, 2 great gadgets, and a super that stuns opponents. He's absolutely unbelievable right now. It is super fun just running around on the ladder and just stomping on some people. However, in ranked, it's a little bit trickier to pull him off, and honestly, he is in that ban phase quite a bit, and there are some really solid counters, which is where I'm going with this next one. Gale is an unbelievable brawler right now, and I'm not just saying that because he's my favorite. At professional gameplay, he is absolutely insane. His hypercharge has taken him to another level. He also has 2 great star powers, counters a ton of these tankier brawlers in the meta. Think ones like Meg, think Frank, think Lily, all of these big bad brawlers that are running around. Gale is a perfect stop. I'm seeing him show up on every single map at this higher ranked gameplay, at professional gameplay, every single Brawl Ball map. He's just in a really good spot right now. So I would say either of those 2, probably top 5 brawlers in the game right now. I mean, you can't go wrong with either. The fact that we have brawlers like Barry and Larry and Lori that I'm not even bringing up here just goes to show how strong this rarity is, though. So again, there's several good options here. Next up, we've got the mythic rarity, and one brawler in particular stands out to me here, and that has to be the newest brawler added to the game. It is going to be Clancy. This Mr. Crab lookalike packs quite a punch. At tier 1, he's similar to Surge. He's not going to do a ton of damage. He's not going to be super fast. But once you get to that tier 2, or better yet, that tier 3 stage where your shot covers half the map and you do an atrocious amount of damage, he's going to be unreal. I like pairing Clancy, and the way I've kind of advised other people to do it is doing this first star power build where you can get yourself more tokens off spawn, and then on top of that, going with the gadget that allows you to progress faster for every shot that you hit. This gets you to that tier 2 and tier 3 stage much quicker, and anytime you can give yourself kind of a shortcut to get to that tier 3, it's going to help you in the long run, help you win a lot faster. Just by looking at his shot and how much damage and coverage he kind of has of the entire map, I think you all can see why he would be so good. A lot of y'all love Surge at home too, so I imagine this will be a pretty fun one for you guys to just kind of pub stomp, get out there on ladder, and really counter some tanks pretty well. But even if you're not facing those tankier matchups, if you can just kind of go even, get yourself to that tier 3 a little early in the game, you are going to dominate. Before we hop into Legendary, if you find these videos helpful at all, or find yourself coming back to my channel on the regular, I'd really appreciate if you dropped a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. We're in the home stretch to 10,000 subscribers, which is a huge goal of mine, so it would mean a lot if you all took a second to do that. And without further ado, our final category of the day, of course, is going to be the legendary brawlers, and for me, this brawler has to be Meg. Meg is just crazy good right now. She recently got a little bit of a rework, as you all know. She's got a shorter range, but she shoots more projectiles and still does an insane amount of damage. Meg's a really interesting one because if you try and get in a mid-range engagement with her, she's going to outgun you with the amount of damage that she does. And if you get close to her, say you're a Buzz and you go up and stun her, well, she has a star power that can bounce you off of her, and she has a second life, and it also does damage to you. So there's really really no easy wins with Meg. She's not hard countered a ton. That's why she's showing up so much at professional play. I'm sure in your all's ranked lobbies, if you found similar to me, she is either banned or played all the time because she can be really frustrating to deal with. That's why pro players are going to use her in knockout so much, is because she has 2 extra lives, and also she's just a really good brawler in general. There are so many maps and modes where she's going to fit, and she doesn't have a ton of hard counters, so she's kind of just allowed to run wild right now.